Welcome to Tabarak Educational Platform. I'm Mr. Hesham Talat from Tabarak Private School. In the beginning, I have to thank our respected chairman, Mr. Yunus Al-Rahbi, for his great efforts to make this educational bridge to connect the students with the school.
Dear Grade 12 students, today we are going to explain very important rule of grammar. It's used to. We use used to plus infinitive. What means infinitive? Infinitive means base verb without any addition, without s, without ed, without ing. Why do we use used to? We use used to express and talk about past habits that no longer exist in our present time. For example, my father used to travel a lot when he was young. This means in the past, my father used to travel a lot, but now he doesn't do anymore. Used to, always in the past time, in the past simple. Of course, we can use past simple also and not used to in some special cases, as many students will confuse between using past simple and used to. So we are going to clarify the big difference between using the past simple and used to. To refer an action which happened at a definite time in the past. For example, I drove to work yesterday. Of course, here, because we have limited time and exact time yesterday, it's not perfect to say, I used to travel, I used to drive to work yesterday. Not perfect. So, we use past simple here. Case number 2. To say how many times an action happened at a definite time in the past. The example, I went to the cinema 4 times last month. Of course, here it's very clear. Not perfect to say I used to go to cinema. Why? Because here 4 times. We mentioned the number of times and how many times, so we use past simple. Here is better than using used to. Now let's go to talk about the form of used to. Of course, when we use used to in the affirmative sentence or statement or positive sentence, as we used to say, I used to play in the park. My brother used to walk to school when he was young. Aisha used to watch cartoons. In these 3 examples, we notice what we see, or can we observe that used to always in the past for followed by to, and to is followed by infinitive. Infinitive means base verb. Let's go, or let's move to the negative form of used to. There are 2 forms of negative of used to. We can say, or we can write, didn't use to. Didn't use to. Example, she didn't used to read fairy tales. Means she didn't have the habits of reading fairy tales when she was young. The second form of the negative of used to is never used to. And it is the most perfect one we use in our daily life of English speaking. She never used to. She never used to read fairy tales. We use it commonly in our everyday speaking in our life. So, in negative, didn't use to or never used to. But here very important to say, when we use didn't, we have to write the base verb of used is use, didn't use. But when we use never in negative, we keep the form of the used to past without any change. So never used to. Okay, what about the interrogative form of the questions form? When we make questions of used to, we use the auxiliary verb or the modal verb or the helping verb did. Of course, when we write did, we have to get the original form of used to and use just used to. So the questions will be like that. Did you used to read comics? Did you used to read comics? Don't say, did you used to? It's a wrong sentence. Why? Because after did or didn't, I must give the base form or the infinitive of the verb. So we have to say used to. Another example. Where did you use to spend your summer holiday? Here, of course, did is here. I have to use the infinitive form of used, so will be used to. Did, used to. My dear students, you have to take care of used to and is used to. So don't confuse. When you find in the exam paper or in grammar box used to and is used to. Why, mister? Because used to followed by infinitive to express a habit in the past and now the person doesn't do it now. For example, she used to read comics when she was younger. Means she doesn't read comics now. Stopped it, finish. But the second one, she is used to, followed by gerund, yes, very good. Verb plus ing. And means what? Means she's still reading books until now. So she is used to reading books. She is used to reading books. Means she is accustomed to reading books until now, in the past and until now. So, what is the rule? Used to plus infinitive. But be or get, yes, we can replace verb to be with get. How? She gets used to reading books. Okay, so if we have verb to be or we have get and followed by used to, we have to add what? And use verb plus ing. The summary of the lesson today: used to plus infinitive. Where? In the affirmative statement. Didn't use to or never used to plus infinitive in negative form. But take care here again, I have to confirm many times that didn't use, never used. In the questions, did, subject of course, used to, did, used to plus infinitive in the interrogative or question. Last case, verb to be or get, used to, what? This verb plus ing. I am used to reading. She is used to playing. Okay? I wish you understood our lesson today. And here we can see the worksheets that will be a homework. Will be homework for you. Homework. Inshallah, I wish you to do it carefully. Don't be in a hurry. Revise all the slides I explained for you, then go to answer it. Of course, I have to confirm and tell you again that used to plus infinitive, okay, and when you have did or didn't here, you have to get the base form of the verb use to, okay. Inshallah, you will find this rule in the exam and you will answer correctly, I'm sure. Thank you, my dear students. Promise to meet you soon again. Thank you and goodbye.
Homework and other educational activities will be downloaded on Tabarak model. And if you have any inquiry, you can email the school. Thank you.